Hello, and welcome to the 5 Core Life podcast with Will Moore, founder of More Momentum. If you're not already, go ahead and pound that subscribe button so you get notified when episodes drop every week. In today's episode of the 5 Core Life, host Will Moore sits down with the 5 Core Life community to field questions. The conversation ranges from how to be happy to what to do when you feel stuck in your life or career, as well as how to get out of suicidal mindset. This episode came to you live via Instagram, so please, if you have not already, go follow the 5 Core Life on Instagram so that you can hop in to the next 5 Core Life coaching call. Are you ready to fire on all cylinders? If so, let's go! Everyone has the same 5 core areas of their life that ultimately determine how happy they'll be. Unfortunately, most of us have developed failure habits in each, and it's Will Moore's mission to help replace those with success habits to maximize momentum. After exiting his business for a combined 9-figure sum, Will learned it's not just about becoming an entrepreneur of your career, but an entrepreneur of the most important business you'll ever run, your life. And to crush it in your life requires firing on all cylinders in your 5 cores by continually taking action, building habits, and maintaining balance in each.
Burnout is real, people. It's a real thing, and many people suffer from it every day. And really, to me, I think when you go down, I always like to say, if we're going to talk about a problem, if we're going to address something, you got to get to the root of it. Don't just put a Band-Aid on the scratch. Get inside and figure out what's going on internally and the root cause. And so, if you're burned out, there's a good chance that you're not loving what you're doing. I'd be willing to bet on that. Because when you love and you're passionate and you've got something that you're like, okay, this is something awesome and I am going to create it and I'm going to get there come hell or high water, and I'm going to fail, but I'm going to fail forward, and I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm going to learn every step of the way. And I'm not saying you can't get burnout when, there's days you're going to have when you're on that path where you're like, I don't want to wake up today. I got these things I got to do. I got this. But it's usually short-lived, because then if you're super inspired and loving what you're doing, that's going to help push you through, right? It's going to help you persist. And you look at 99 out of 100 successful people, other than that one guy who just made a funny video on Instagram and is Insta-famous, which isn't going to last. They did it this way. They persisted, and they had a vision, and they developed a system where they could continue to take step after step every single day and basically just move forward in life and say, you know what, I know I can get there. I know this is a good idea. And you know what, you might pivot. Things may go a different way. You may think that you're in control and you know exactly how your life's going to go. But remember, life has a way of doing things. But as long as you kind of, again, know what your strengths, your passions are, you have a vision of where you want to end up, that Back to the Future exercise, you're going to get there, and it may not be the way that you envision it now, but you'll figure it out. All right. So Chris is not on today. So it looks like, why don't we go ahead and let's take some calls. Let's take some callers. I always wanted to say that, but I guess that's not really the appropriate. Let's take some IGs from some people. Let's get them on. Let's talk.
How's it going, man?
It's going good.
Well, thanks for popping on with us. I can hear you. Yeah. So you got where are you calling from?
I'm from India.
All right. Where in India?
It's like a state in India called West Bengal.
Very good. Okay. And what time is it where you are right now?
It is 9:30 right now.
9:20. Okay. So you guys are about, it's 11 o'clock a.m. here. So you guys are about 10 hours ahead or so. Well, how can I help you, man? Tell me about what's going on.
I've been following you for quite a lot of time right now. And I have a question about my future, right? Like, I am a student in the high school right now. And what my question was, I have like a lot of passion in the field of computer science, but often since I'm in school right now, it often gets very difficult to balance and prioritize my time between what I want to do and what I eventually have to do to pass school.
Mm.
and I'll get over with school this year, but I'll have college next. So I was wanting to ask about how I should, like decide what thought process should I follow to, distribute my time between what I would really want to do and what is necessary to get me through education.
So I just had a mentoring call with somebody about this same type of subject where, they're doing something, and, they know that they are on the path that they should be on, but they're not. It sounds like there's an itch for something else, right? And right, you want to be your happiest and best self. You don't want to just do what it is your parents told you to do, or what this career path is maybe that you're on right now. I don't just, don't know what the details are, but at the end of the day, here's the thing. If you're not constantly challenging yourself and growing and like saying, okay, this is a goal, this is where I want to be, and your brain knows whether you're working towards that or not, or whether you're on autopilot doing something that you're not thrilled about. And if you're not going after that thing in some capacity, like I was talking about earlier, that involves your passions, your strengths, your loves, like just in your soul, like this is what I need. If you're not working towards that continually, you're going to feel some sort of emptiness. So let me ask you this: with this school, what is the school? What are you studying for? What are you to go into what?
I'm in the last year of my high school, and I like in India you have three common options after 10th grade. For 11th and 12th, you can either go for science or commerce, which includes all the business maths, and the third one is arts, which includes history and the related subjects.
Got it. Okay, so have you figured out yet what it is? And you do plan on graduating, correct? You want to finish
Right.
school? And how much more school do you have?
After this, I'll have I have my exams next month, and after that, I'll have 4 years of college for my undergraduate.
Okay, and do you know in college what you're going to focus on?
Yes, I'm pretty sure about like the next 4 years of I know that whatever I plan right now will undergo a lot of changes as I come
Okay.
across things. But I do have a pretty sure plan about what I am gonna choose where I know what kind of options I'll have in the future, so I have a plan in mind.
Okay. So you do have, and have you ever actually sat down and said, okay, these are my strengths. This is what I really love. Like, and when I say love, like passion, like this is what revs my engine. This is what gets me excited. Whenever I'm doing this, a good way to look at this one is whenever you're doing it, it doesn't feel like work, right? And time just flies by, right? So do you have a good idea of what those things are? And is this path that you tentatively have in your mind, is it based on that? Or is it
Yes,
based on
so
things like money and people telling you you should do this?
actually money is it is like a counter feature here, and if I were to hypothetically get two options, getting big money in doing something I am good at, or getting just enough amount of money doing something I really love, then I would rather go for the second option. I believe I
Yes.
would do that.
Trust me, you definitely would. As long as you can pay your bills and you
Yes,
can
I
live the type of lifestyle you want, your needs are met, that's the way you want to go. Because when you incrementally, exponentially increase your wealth, but it's not really affecting your lifestyle, like other than, yeah, maybe I could buy a slightly bigger house or a slightly bigger car. You are sacrificing a lot of your happiness if you're doing something that you don't enjoy on a daily basis.
because at the end of the day, I would spend 60% of my life working, so might as well make it something good.
That's exactly right. So it's smart that you've got that. A lot of people don't see that. So getting back to your question, and forgive me, we've been talking for a little while. What is your main? So what is your symptom, and how can I solve it? What can I answer that I haven't yet that I can help you moving forward?
So, I am like pretty sure about what I want to do usually, but I get into a moral conflict. Like in India, education is a big thing. Like you asked me about whether I want to complete college or not, but in India, that is almost not a question. Very contrasting to the States.
Right.
But people here really would discourage you to follow something with high risk, high reward, even though you like it. So, because of their opinions and because of my own, passion, like, so I often get into a moral conflict between whether I should spend a little more time doing what I really like to do, like, programming in this case, and like for example, I would like to explain this with a situation. Like till the 10th standard I was like a pretty good school, like I used to ace all my tests. But since the 11th standard, like since from the last year, I started devoting more of my time towards my hobbies and a little less on the education side. So that has, I have taken a hit on my grades,
Okay.
and my marks have come quite down from what I used to get. So this leads me into a moral conflict, in a lot of confusion on whether I should devote more and more time to my hobbies and stay average and just doable on the education sphere.
Hmm. So, right, I'm not from India, and I know it's you guys do it's different there. There's a lot of pressure, school and whatnot. So I'm not against school. Um, to me, again, I don't know the structure of your schooling system, but if you can take some of these hobbies that you're wanting to spend time on, and what you're saying is exactly what I was just saying in terms of like, okay, these hobbies, these things you're wanting to go over here and do, these are the things you need to pay attention to, and don't just look at them as they're a distraction and they're hurting me and they're taking me away and I have this conflict. Like, figure out how to marry the two in terms of your school and your hobbies. And obviously in high school, you got to get your work done, right? I mean, it's just you got to get through high school. But then when you get to college, like I said, really start thinking about these things that you like. And did you say programming is something that you love? Yeah. Well, let me tell you, friend, if you're a good programmer, you know, you're not gonna have problems in the world, because there's this is, I always tell people, when you're looking for what you're gonna do, what career you're gonna choose, you always want to choose areas that the world is headed to, and more it's all digital, and the more computer savvy and tech savvy and programming you can do. I wish I could program. It's not one of my strengths. I don't have it in me. I always have to hire people to do it. I always admire people that can do it. And so honestly, if that's something that you enjoy and you like, and you're doing that as a hobby on the side and you're building those skills, try combining building those skills with like a goal of like, okay, in 6 months or in a year, I want to have this, I want to be at this level. And I want to then kind of maybe start putting some feelers out there. Are you familiar with platforms like Fiverr and Upwork and these types of things?
Done a little bit of work in them.
So they're good ways to get your feet wet, to sort of start, like you can put, hey, I'm a programmer, I'll program something, and then somebody hires you and you can program something on the side. And kind of then you can kind of see like, do I like this? Am I good at it? Then you're getting feedback from people. And again, you gotta, I don't recommend quitting school and doing this. I would recommend staying in school, but at least you've got this, and this is what you're passionate about, and you're building it. I call it your side hustle on the side. And that could turn into something, and that could end up being your career.
So currently, I am taking this course on EDX, which is CS50 from MIT. And like, even if I come from a stressful day of work or study and I sit down on my laptop, it turns out to be the happiest hours of my day, no
Yep.
matter how tired I am. So I think that is a marker which I should take and head in that way.
You just said it, right? You just said everything I was saying. Like, these are the things that when I was younger, and I was suicidal. I was really good at art and I was good at creative thinking, but my brain told me at the time, like, there's no money in this. Like, yeah, I'm good at this, but like, who cares? Like, I need to be a doctor or a lawyer, or I need to do this or what other people want me to do. And that was the worst thing I could have done to myself. And I almost killed myself. And it wasn't until I kind of popped out of all of it and realized what the meaning of life is really about. It's about, like, we're all individual creatures. Our brains all work differently. We all have our strengths, weaknesses, different passions. You got to figure out what yours are and revolve your life around that, and your career. And, you know, and like you said, it doesn't feel like work. That's the rub. And the people that are most successful in life are the ones that have done that, because your life's going to be tough. You're going to get slapped in the face. You're going to get kicked. You're going to get punched. You're going to fail. And it's a
Also
lot
because
easier.
it is a very, it is a very different job from what people here usually do. It is like a very different way here.
Yeah, right. So that's why I said, I mean, we're all connected. You're in a fortunate place. If you lived 100 years ago, you'd be kind of screwed, right? Because it's like your family would have said, this is what you're doing, and there wasn't really opportunity. You've got access to the internet. You and I are like halfway across the world, and we're having this conversation. There's the internet where you can start testing your skills. Like I said, I mean, Upwork and Fiverr are the two I know. I'm sure there's other opportunities, but you love this. It's something that, like you said, it doesn't feel like work. You look forward to it. So why not start kind of honing your skills, figuring out, like, and it might change, it might pivot, but whatever programming you want to focus on right now, like, get to a certain skill level and just do a little test. Like, just take the action. Don't get analysis paralysis. Don't sit on the sidelines and think, oh, maybe I should do this. Just do it. And like, put something out there and say, hey, I'm a programmer. I'm fairly new, but whatever. Like, be honest with people and try something out. And like, you may find that you are really good at it. You may fail, but you may go, you know what? I didn't do great on this, but I learned that this is something I love and the direction I want to head in. And just do it and start kind of building that on the side. And like I said, if you get good at it, that could end up becoming your whole life. And I mean, I know your parents, like, society tells you should do, but I would imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, if you started kind of making a bunch of money on the side or showing like, hey, I can actually make a living doing this, that they would probably ease up a little bit and say, okay, well, maybe we'll let you pursue that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that's my advice. That's my advice. And I have an ebook that I'm happy to send you to help you kind of take these first steps of really figuring out even deeper what your strengths, your passions are, and where you want to end up in life. So feel free to DM me and I'll send it to you. Just send me your email, and anybody else listening, I can send it to you if you'd like.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thanks for hopping on, and thank you for being, for following and listening in. And this is the world to me, to be able to meet people and hear about what's going on in their life, and just do my best to try to help out a little bit. And I'm here. DM me, give me your email, and we'll communicate. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I'll send out. I'm going to do more of these. I'll be sending out things on our story and our page to let you know when we're going to do more of these. So if people got questions that didn't get answered, we can do in the future. All right, guys, tune in out.
That's it for today's episode of the 5 Core Life podcast with Will Moore, founder of More Momentum. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have not already, please make sure to subscribe and follow the podcast wherever you are listening or watching this, so that you get notified when new episodes air every week. And if you've not joined the 5 Core Life Facebook group, I encourage you to join that and see what all of the fuss is about. There's some awesome content designed to get your momentum going, including a monthly giveaway to win a complimentary coaching call with the Will Moore. The Facebook group is currently the only place to get Will's dedicated attention on your 5 core journey. If you're feeling stuck or just want someone to cheer you on, then that is the place you need to be. There's nothing like a community of people on the same journey to get you fired up, kicking butt, and taking names. So come join us.
Get moving. Gain momentum. Join the movement. Join Emmett by going to moremomentum.com to take a free life evaluator quiz on where you currently stand in each of your 5 cores.